It's embarrassing. That fiery phrase, hurled by none other than Kristina Mladenovic, has ignited a vigorous debate that is echoing across the entire tennis world. Just imagine it, one of the sport's most decorated doubles champions, a woman with multiple Grand Slam trophies in her cabinet, publicly calling out some of the biggest names in tennis. She's not holding back, and neither is the swirling storm of opinion around her. So, what's the fuss really about? And how did Carlos Alcaraz, Emma Raducanu, Novak Djokovic, and a host of other tennis superstars manage to get caught in this verbal crossfire? Today we're diving headfirst into the heart of the drama to untangle every last detail. We'll explore why the upcoming mixed doubles event at the United States Open has been rescheduled in a way that's fueling controversy, examine why Mladenovic thinks it's a recipe for disaster, and find out whether the critics might have a point. Prepare for a reveal of the hidden tensions behind the scenes, the subtle motivations of the biggest players on the planet, and the powerful statements that have turned a standard competition into a red-hot topic no one can ignore. The most explosive element of this entire story hinges on a significant format shift. Traditionally, singles competitions dominate the headlines at any slam, with doubles and mixed doubles wedged into the schedule after or alongside those marquee matches. But this time around, the organizers of the United States Open have taken a step that some dare to call radical. They have decided to hold the mixed doubles event before the singles matches begin, aiming to give an extra dose of prominence to a category that is usually overshadowed by the main draw. The reasoning, say tournament officials, is to spark greater excitement and possibly encourage more top-tier athletes to sign on. Indeed, that's exactly what happened. Rosters reveal that star power abounds. Olga Danilovic pairs up with Novak Djokovic, Emma Navarro joins forces with Jannik Sinner, and the dynamic combination of Carlos Alcaraz with Emma Raducanu promises to light the court on fire. Kristina Mladenovic, who herself has hoisted the trophies at major doubles events a remarkable number of times, sees trouble in all this hype. While Alcaraz praises the new system, beaming about how it will be really fun, Mladenovic's perspective is pointedly different. She believes that capturing a mixed doubles slam title isn't a casual pastime or an amusing sideshow. She's outraged by the suggestion that it could be seen merely as a practice run for the singles competition. To her, it's nothing short of disrespectful. She insists that competing at a Grand Slam in any category is a privilege earned through countless hours of grueling training, personal sacrifice, and unwavering focus. How dare anyone treat it as a lighthearted warm-up? Mladenovic's exact words were scorching. When you hear Alcaraz or others say they're going to have fun while preparing for the United States Open, it's embarrassing. She punctuates her argument by reminding the world that aspiring tennis players, from the moment they pick up a racket, dream of winning that elusive major, be it singles, women's doubles, or mixed doubles. It's not just a playground for star athletes who want to loosen up before their big matches. This sentiment echoes throughout the tennis community, crystallized by another outspoken critic, John Zielinski, who has secured his own share of success on the doubles circuit. He took the skepticism further, labeling the reimagined tournament an exhibition, implying that the new format and the casual attitudes floating through the locker room make it a spectacle rather than a sporting crucible. If your lifelong goal was to lift a trophy that might be seen as an experimental event, one in which even the participants seem more focused on comedic value than competitive intensity, wouldn't you be frustrated too? Some fans argue that Mladenovic and Zielinski might be overreacting. Others side with them completely, saying that if players themselves don't treat it seriously, the prestige of a Grand Slam could be eroded. That question, why does it matter if tennis stars want to have some fun, seems simple, but plunges straight into the core of this debate. For Mladenovic, it's not about forbidding laughter on the court. She cherishes the joy tennis brings. But fun can't supersede the fundamental essence of what constitutes a Grand Slam: excellence, dedication, and fierce rivalry. She asserts that characterizing the mixed doubles in any other way shortchanges the sacrifices juniors and upcoming professionals make daily just to stand a chance in these tournaments. Those smaller details, supposed jokes by top-seeded players, playful glances, and social media banter, begin to add up to an impression that this portion of the United States Open is, as she indicated, an afterthought or embarrassing. Spinning this situation around, though, one might say that for a big name like Carlos Alcaraz, emphasizing the fun factor is a brilliant tactic. He and Emma Raducanu have soared to dizzying heights in the singles discipline. They don't need to prove themselves on the double stage for their reputations to remain intact. By openly framing this foray into mixed doubles as a chance to let loose, they could endear themselves to millions of fans who prefer a lighter, cheerful brand of tennis. After all, sport can be about more than just stoic determination. It can be a platform for enjoyment, creativity, and outreach to audiences who might otherwise never look beyond the singles showdowns. But does that approach undermine the legacy of doubles specialists, some of whom feel overshadowed whenever singles champions, or those on the cusp of singles dominance, deign to step into their domain? Mladenovic points out that she has worked tirelessly, year after year, forging countless partnerships, analyzing every possible doubles formation, and spending hours on specialized drills that seldom concern singles players. When someone breezes in touting a carefree approach, it seems to trivialize the unique skills that define doubles. She is wary of what might happen if the tennis community at large simply accepts that these categories can be used as stepping stones or side attractions. The sport could become lopsided, with the majority of attention locked onto singles or those fleeting cameo appearances in doubles by megastars. Meanwhile, true specialists feel marginalized, their intense dedication seemingly weighed as less important. In an interesting twist, Novak Djokovic, widely touted as one of the most formidable singles players in tennis history, paired up with Olga Danilovic, another fresh face. Although Djokovic has scarcely commented publicly on the new scheduling, there's an undercurrent of speculation. Is he taking it as a serious competition, or just an entertaining way to get in some extra matches before tackling the singles? The rumor mill suggests that his plan is to focus fully on a potential blockbuster face-off in the later rounds of singles. Yet, we keep hearing that he also wants to use the mixed doubles as a confidence booster. According to Mladenovic's perspective, that mindset is precisely what's wrong with this plan. Despite the uproar, you might wonder, where do casual fans fit into this picture? Many haven't watched a mixed doubles match in their lives. For them, the promise of seeing stars like Emma Raducanu share the court with Carlos Alcaraz is irresistibly alluring. It's a spectacle loaded with possibilities. Unorthodox combinations, playful interactions, unexpected partnerships. Potentially, that could spark newfound interest in doubles, or even in tennis overall. That might be precisely what the organizers are hoping for. As Mladenovic herself admits, from a marketing standpoint, it's genius. No one disputes that a lineup of iconic singles powerhouses is guaranteed to boost viewership. But if you're intrigued by how this conflict touches something deeper than just selling tickets, keep watching. The conversation about business strategy versus sporting principle is no small matter when entire careers hinge upon the purity of a Grand Slam's credibility. If the mixed doubles begins to resemble a glamorous cameo event, complete with more Instagram moments than truly grueling competition, do we risk undermining its legitimate status? For Mladenovic, the answer is a resounding yes, and she has gone so far as to suggest that if organizers persist in this route, the event should no longer call itself a Grand Slam. That's a radical stance, but it underlines just how passionately she feels about safeguarding what she views as the sacred integrity of top-flight tennis. If you're as fascinated by this unfolding drama as many tennis fans are, support the conversation by sharing your thoughts with a like or a quick thumbs up. It's amazing how a single gesture of engagement can bring visibility to stories like this, especially when they involve the voices of committed professionals battling to protect their dreams. So, feel free to let us know that you're following along and that you care about the fate of this beloved sport. Your viewpoint matters. Meanwhile, some coaches have stepped forward to reinforce Mladenovic's claims. They emphasize that doubles, especially at the mixed level, demands teamwork, synergy, and a special brand of court awareness. Singles players often react with lightning reflexes to cover ground alone, but doubles professionals train to dance around each other's positions. They refine strategies such as poaching at the net, reading angles, and coordinating movements to trap opponents. Minimizing that complexity does an injustice to the craft. These doubles specialists hone over years. For these coaches, the statement, "we're just here to have fun," rings as a convenient reason to avoid the nitty-gritty of practicing set plays, anticipating your partner's every pivot, and dedicating the time needed to build seamless pair chemistry. At the same time, tennis thrives on spectacle, and the powers that be are not blind to the enormous popularity that can come from harnessing a star-studded event. Imagine the conversations if, hypothetically, Emma Raducanu and Carlos Alcaraz fought their way through the draw, culminating in a final that overshadowed every press conference for the singles bracket. Short of that, the mere concept of them stepping onto the court together is guaranteed to bring digital platforms alive with viral clips, comedic celebrations, and behind-the-scenes camaraderie. For a sport that sometimes struggles to compete with the non-stop highlight reels offered by other popular leagues, unveiling mixed doubles as a main attraction could be an innovative stroke of genius. Yet the tension swirling around Mladenovic's remarks begs a bigger question about tradition versus innovation. Should tennis cling to the established structure that has been in place for many decades? Or should it evolve in response to shifting audience preferences? Is it snobbery to deny that big marquee names can help increase the stature of doubles? Or is it a sense of professional pride? Mladenovic is certainly not trying to keep doubles hidden in the shadows. She wants the opposite, rightful recognition for players who dedicate themselves completely to that format. But she resents the notion that it can be turned into a glitzy, easygoing warm-up for singles. Her call for authenticity resonates with many current and former players who share the stance that the moment you treat a Grand Slam like a casual side event, you risk undermining the fierce competitiveness that is supposed to define professional tennis at every level. If you love hearing about eye-opening debates like this and want to be among the first to get deeper insights into the surprising changes shaking up major tournaments, consider subscribing so you never miss a future discussion. We'll keep covering these stories from every angle, bringing you perspectives both on and off the court. After all, one of the greatest joys in sport is learning about the unexpected twists and emotional battles simmering just below the surface. Some journalists have also hinted that the sudden scheduling shift might be tied to commercial agreements, lucrative sponsorship obligations, or broadcast demands. The addition of big-name superstars to the mixed doubles bracket naturally incentivizes distribution networks to pay more attention. We might see primetime slots allocated to doubles matchups for the first time in years, allowing those who usually only watch the singles portion to experience a somewhat different style of play. But Mladenovic isn't convinced that this glimmer of spotlight represents a step forward for the doubles community if, behind it all, the players themselves treat it casually. Her rallying cry is this: take it as seriously as you would any other match, or leave it to those who genuinely value the competition. She posits that the wave of fans drawn by top singles competitors lacks meaning if those same players are only offering a half-hearted display. Perspectives are bound to remain split. On one side, you have tennis loyalists for whom tradition is paramount. They want to preserve the sense of solemnity and honor that they believe belongs in a Grand Slam. On the other side, there's a wave of progressive voices who see this as the perfect opportunity to rejuvenate audiences, especially younger fans who might find the conventional format too rigid. The real test will come as the newly scheduled mixed doubles event unfolds. Will players like Carlos Alcaraz, Emma Raducanu, Novak Djokovic, and Jannik Sinner bring serious fire and fight tooth and nail for the trophy? Or will they let a more easygoing vibe carry them through, focusing primarily on their singles campaigns and giving only a cursory nod to the doubles? In either case, the conversation sparked by Mladenovic's accusations has already propelled doubles into the limelight more forcefully than it has been in years. The real question is whether this fervor will leave a lasting impression or fade into memory by the time the next big event comes around. So, as we count down the days, the entire tennis community is bracing for a showdown that extends beyond the lines of the court. The public is enthralled by the possibility of Alcaraz and Raducanu's youthful synergy, Djokovic's unwavering drive, and the strategic brilliance that might emerge when singles aces team up for a fresh challenge. But be mindful that behind every glitzy photo and cheerful practice video, there's a mini civil war brewing, centered on the question, is this truly the next step in tennis's grand evolution, or is it a warning sign that we're losing sight of the fundamental ideals that define a Grand Slam? Mladenovic has fired the opening shot with her powerful condemnation, and you can bet more voices, players, coaches, pundits, and fans will jump into this robust debate. No matter which side of the argument you fall on, it's clear that the upcoming United States Open mixed doubles tournament will be anything but a dull affair. Sparks have already lit the fuse, and the tension is likely to intensify with each passing round. Be prepared to witness captivating matchups, heated interviews, and a tide of social media commentary dissecting every shot and statement. Will Mladenovic's words galvanize the playing field into proving mixed doubles deserves unwavering respect and devotion? Or will the event devolve into something less, confirming fears that it may be little more than a colorful prelude to the main show? One way or another, the next chapter of tennis history is about to be written, and you have a front row seat. Grab a snack, settle in, and get ready for a torrent of unfiltered passion, conflicting agendas, and epic points on the biggest stage in tennis. Because when arguments about tradition, star power, marketing savvy, and professional pride collide under the bright lights of the United States Open, the result is always riveting to behold.